Alright, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to another part of Persona 4 Arena Ultimax. So, what I'm gonna do... Actually, maybe that's just like a design choice, but there's different clear colors for all of these characters. Anyways, I don't think it's too important because it says clear anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna finish up Kanji and then we're going to go to a new story and start that up. I doubt we'll be able to finish it though, because depending on my voice situation, I may have to end it early. I don't know. Alright, continue from the cliffhanger.
I was getting nervous because you were running wild, thinking this was all a beautiful dream. Good thing I found you. I have missed you so much, you know?
Yeah, I didn't miss you.
That sissy way of talking, I never forget it. This guy's definitely my shadow. I was expecting this to happen, but being face to face with him again is pretty tough anyway. He's my weakness, the stuff I want to ignore. Shadow keeps swaying his damn hips at me when I glare at him.
Oh, what a big meanie you are. Weren't you looking for me?
Yeah, to punch your stupid face in.
Oh dear. It looks like you still don't understand.
Understand what?
Why, you haven't changed one bit. That's why I've come out.
What is he saying? I haven't changed at all.
Didn't you realize that after what everyone said to you, people haven't forgotten about my side of you at all?
Kanji, keep it together! You can't let him trick you!
Shut up, you goddamn furball! No different than me.
The bastard suddenly throws the folding chair he's been holding right at Teddy. Teddy squeaks by with a dodge, but he ends up falling over himself and rolling over on the floor. Hey, you know, I could swear my shadow looks different now that he did last year. But that ain't important now. What matters is that this is the guy behind everything. My weakness created this place.
You're the reason my senpai were acting so weird.
Oh, I don't know about that. They could have honestly been speaking their minds, you know.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to bring a little bit more life into my reading. Ugh.
No way in hell they'd...
That's what you want to believe. Once again, you're lying to yourself.
Lying to myself. Just back then, huh? You like to sew? What a queer. Painting is so not you. But you're a guy. You don't act like a guy. Every time I heard that stuff, I tried harder to not to be myself. Those were some bad days for me.
Enough of that. I don't want to lie to myself anymore. I want to be who I am.
I began to do Kanji, my interpretation of Kanji's voice, but then I suddenly remembered that that will hurt a lot, even if it's for a short amount of time. The shadow looks at me and rages at me selfishly. Screw this. I ain't listening to any more of this. I take a deep breath in and then push it out. I ball up my fist and pull my arm back.
Are you going to hit me? Are you going to deny me again? That's right. People don't let go of their weaknesses. They can never really accept us.
My shadow's face gets this creepy giddiness. Too bad. I ain't aiming for him. I bring back my fist as hard as I can at my right cheek.
Have you lost your mind? How could you hit yourself?
Man, that hurt. But of course it would. It was my fist, after all.
But thanks to that pain, I've snapped out of it. I want to run away from my own weakness. To just ignore that nastiness inside me. One punch just now knocked all the dumbass feelings out of me. Sure, I'm seeing stars now, but it's not a big deal. Maybe it's just my imagination, but I feel like my field of vision is wider. I face my shadow head on.
I know all too well that I'm weak.
Huh?
Last year's case. I still clearly remember seeing my shadow for the first time. I knew there was a chicken inside me back then, but pretending there wasn't caused trouble for my senpai. If I just had a little more courage then, it could have made things easier on everyone. Anyway, I was pretty embarrassed at the time. I wanted to forget that it ever happened. You know, focus on getting stronger. But things are a little different now.
You heard me, I'm weak. But I met my senpai and they taught me something. Who cares what your weaknesses are? What's important is how you live with them. It'd be lame for me to repeat the same thing over and over, and I can't cause any more trouble for my senpai.
My senpai. They didn't care how pathetic I was then. They told me there was no need to force it, that I could just be myself. And now they're here to rescue me, even though I fell into a TV for the dumbest reason. Seriously, they're amazing people. I smack my fist in the palm and I glare at my shadow. He's freaking out a little to see this. He's even backing up in fear.
What are you going to do?
If you're really me, you should already know. Fists never lie.
You better hurry up and get back inside me, goddammit. There is a child here, so expect noise. Honestly, at this point, it's just kind of normal. And I can't control it. It's just what happens.
Final. What's up? Take this.
No!
How many more?
Stay down. This'll hurt. Take this. Break it half. What's up?
No, you don't.
Eat this. Eat this. Break it half. What's up? Eat this. Right. One more. Smash down.
Please be gentle.
Stay down. This'll hurt.
Stay down.
Case closed.
Now that my shadow's defeated, this dumb Grand Prix should end too. I feel like I did something pretty good here. Yeah, I did it.
What happened last time? I turned into my persona and...
Wait just a minute. A persona is just another form of a shadow, right? But I was just using my persona on my shadow. If the shadow's there, you can't use your persona. So since I could, my shadow wasn't there? Or was it? Which is it? This makes no sense.
Did I not push him far enough? No, I didn't make any mistakes. The power he drew from his bonds was just stronger.
Oh my god, that voice is scary.
Huh?
There's something still missing to turn a persona back into a shadow.
Turn a persona back into a shadow? What in the hell is he mumbling about? Is this thing really my shadow? Last year he looked kinda more, you know. Wait a sec, where'd he go? He was standing right there and now he's gone. What the? What's going on?
When did he disappear? There's a lot of fishy things about all this.
Well, if he's gone, at least he can't cause any more problems. Looks like we did it.
Well, I guess so anyway. I can still use my persona and everything, so that means I didn't lose. Ugh, I shouldn't let it bother me.
Anyone, please answer me!
Kanji, that voice!
It's Rise. She's talking through her persona. Hey, can you hear me?
That feeling of someone's voice drilling right into my head is my friend Rise. She must be trying to contact us with her persona. Her persona works a little different from ours. It lets her communicate with people and search for them. Anyway, I shout that I can hear her to let her know that I'm here. A second later, a familiar voice echoes in my head.
Kanji and Teddy!
Guess she noticed me. Rise wasn't acting like herself over the PA system, but she sounds like she's in real trouble now. She's kind of desperate. It's not at all like the one coming over the loudspeakers. We don't usually talk much, but I put my life in her hands before. Trust me, I know when she's being serious.
Something happened, right? Where are you now?
I'm in the announcement room, and...
Rise? Rise! Answer me, damn it!
The announcement room! Miss President was headed there too! That place was dangerous after all!
The shadow that disappeared. You're telling me it actually ran away? Isn't that thing still causing trouble in the announcement room? Damn it. Compared to last year, this one sure doesn't know when to quit. If that's what's going on, I can't waste time here.
Kanji, wait for me! Don't leave me behind!
Teddy's yelling at me for some reason. It's like he's pretending there's one of those invisible walls right there. Well, sorry dude, I got places to be.
No time to waste, I'm going on ahead!
I leave Ted and run full speed towards the announcement room. The invisible walls are still in my way, but I get where I'm going eventually. I stop for a second and wonder what's going on there, but I can't wait for too long, or this'll be for nothing. I'm not one to sweat the details anyways.
Here goes!
Once I kick down the door like a boss, I can see Rise and Miss President. And that fake Teddy. That goddamn shadowed bastard. I beat the crap out of him once, and he just comes back again wearing a new face.
Kanji! You're late, you moron!
Quit whining, hurry up and come over here!
I wave Rise over to my side, and she grabs Miss President's hand and gets behind me. Rise's persona is great for information and stuff, but you can't fight with it at all. I gotta make sure to protect her.
That's student council president, right? You don't look so good. You okay?
It's not true. He keeps saying weird things. Another nuisance. I've had enough of this, you know that?
Huh? Miss President's being weird, but the fake Teddy's acting weirder. Especially how he's talking. Where'd the unusual Teddy's sense of humor go? Damn, I'm seriously lost here. But then Rise cuts in from beside me. Maybe she's sensing something that I can't. She's better than anyone when it comes to this stuff.
That fake Teddy is her shadow, and it's going berserk.
Her shadow? Not mine?
Where'd you get that idea? Sheesh.
Why is she yelling at me? If she knows what's going on, maybe she should tell the rest of the class I'm on it. Rise grabs at her hair in frustration, then points at Teddy.
Listen, that fake Teddy's the bad guy here, so all you have to do is beat him up.
All right, that's easy enough to understand.
Kinda sounded more like an order than an explanation, but I know I can trust Rise to have it together. Plus, beating the crap out of stuff is my job. I crack my knuckles.
So you are going to interfere. I don't have anything against you, you know. Isn't that right? Me.
Huh? Me? I start to have second thoughts, and then the fake Teddy snaps his fingers. Holy shit! How'd he snap those stubby little fingers of his? Wait, that's not important. What's important is that he's changing right here in front of me. And then the cutscene that I'm gonna skip. Do. Nope.
I am a shadow. The true self.
Man, you look like you're ready for battle.
Now I understand what Rise was talking about. I wondered how the hell my shadow came back after I beat it, but I get it now. It's not my shadow this time, it's hers. The shadow's face looks like Miss President, but the body is totally mechanical. She yelps a little at seeing her own shadow. I don't blame her. It was tough seeing mine again, even though we'd crossed paths before.
Why so scared? What's wrong, me? Take a good look. Come on, don't look away. You can't hide from yourself forever.
The shadows laugh. The shadow laughs like an idiot at Miss President, crumpled up on the ground, and snaps her fingers again. Then, what in the hell? What am I seeing? This time it ain't a shadow that changes. It's Miss President.
What's going on? No, don't look at me. I'm not like this.
The hell? A machine? No, a robot?
Miss President cries out and tries to hide it, but there's no hiding what she looks like now. Her legs and arms turn mechanical, just like the shadows. What does that mean?
Come on, take a closer look. That's her true form. She was deceiving herself. She really thinks she's a human, living a normal life at school. To reinforce her make-believe is real, she prevented herself from accessing any memories that could contradict that. She even sealed away her own name. That's not true! I'm human! Are you? Hurry up and remember. You're a weapon, a mere tool. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys. That's my name. Our name!
Labrys? Machine? Weapon? This girl's not human? Then the shadow wasn't doing the usual funhouse mirror thing. It's really what Miss President looks like. The shadow keeps babbling on about stuff I can't understand. But when she said weapon, was she talking about Miss President? Aren't weapons supposed to be more like pew pew and kerpow? Well, she doesn't look... She does look kind of like that now. But Miss President's different. When I first met her, she was a normal girl, just like all the others in my neighborhood. She's no different from anyone else.
That's not my name!
Shit! I gotta stop spacing out.
Stop! Don't say any more!
Rise's noticed too, and hurries over to Miss President, but she's not gonna make it.
You're not me! Yes, that's right! I'm not you! I'm myself!
Okay. Time for more ass beating. Damn it, the shadow's gone berserk. This cow monster thing came out from behind her. It's intense seeing this every time. I also noticed that the scenery has changed too. The light coming from beyond the glass is so red it hurts my eyes. There's a steel thing that looks like a furnace in the center, and these dolls being tossed inside it. What is that? All I know is, it's something nasty. That thing reeks of danger. But even though I'm in a jam, I can't stop myself from smiling.
Looks like it's on me to protect everyone this time. Bring it!
There's a girl here who needs our help with their shadow coming out, and I got that power to fight it. The only difference from back then is you senpai's not here with us. That dude who solved all the mysteries in last year's case isn't here now. Which means, can't wait for him to save the day. If anyone's gonna stop this, it's gonna be me.
Kanji, are you gonna be okay? You don't have any backup!
Aw, come on, don't look so worried.
I'm straight, I'll be okay. Just stay quiet and support me like usual.
I got this one. I slammed my fist into my own shadow, and I sure as hell can do this. I've been watching you senpai work all this time for nothing. I take my stance in front of the gigantic cow.
I'll save you no matter what.
Finally. Fight! One, two! Take this!
Ouch.
Here goes! Nothing! Don't underestimate Lobo! There! Eat this! Right! One more! Smackdown!
What was that about?
Time to end this! Hot! Ho! Russians are done!
That was easy.
All right, it's calmed down.
All that's left is for her to accept it. Rise seems to be telling Miss President about about shadows. I should have let Rise handle it. They're both girls. I'm great at dealing with problems that I can beat up, but sitting around and talking and stuff isn't my thing. I'll just keep an eye over her shadow to make sure it doesn't go nuts again.
No! This can't be my body!
You don't have to worry about that. Though it's easy to say so, huh? Anyway, let's calm down for a second, okay? Psst, Kanji, say something.
Me?
What am I supposed to tell her? I don't know any more about Miss President than she does. All that happened between us was her yelling at me. No, that's not gonna cut it. It'd be pretty lame to duck out of doing this because I'm not that good at it. Yeah, I make up my mind and crouch down in front of Miss President.
Nice weather we're having.
Oh my god.
What are you being so stiff for?
Shut up! She's a student council president. I gotta, just thought I should try to be more polite, damn it.
Rise and I yell at each other like usual. Ah, crap. Miss President is looking at us like we're crazy. Okay. Gotta get serious here. What should I say? Where do I start? It's confusing, but I try to think about how to help.
Anyway, why don't you try talking to us? We'll listen to whatever you're saying.
That's right. Our shadows emerged when we came here for the first time. We went through the same pain as you. I think that should let us understand you, at least a little bit.
Talk!
And then Labra slowly starts talking about her life. How she was created as a weapon. And how she had to fight other units just like her so that they could run experiments. Seriously? Man, sounds like she was forced to kill her own friends. That's insane. Just way too cruel. Anyway, she says that she was able to forget all of that and to be a student. But the shadow made her remember everything.
I want to stay human, but she won't let me. I want to forget the whole Labrys thing. I don't want to think about that anymore.
I see.
Miss President used a bunch of words I honestly didn't understand, and her story was too hard to follow. But even then, something about what she said made me hurt inside.
You really were doing your best, weren't you?
Huh?
I'll be honest. I just met you. There's no way I could know how painful this must have been for you. You really thought it through, huh?
I was just saying what I felt, but Miss President looks up at me like I just sprouted a third arm. Sprouted. Did I say something wrong? I'm not smart enough to be confident about stuff like this.
You say that you're a machine, but we know what you're talking about. I don't think there's any problem there. You're the same as us. You can feel pain and sadness just like us.
The same.
That's why you should go and accept the other you over there.
Rise helps Miss President to her feet. She stands up, but she still seems shaky. I'm gonna try one last thing. But it's not like the right words are suddenly coming to me now. What would you, Senpai, do in this situation? I try and try to think back, and then I remember.
Hey, isn't that girl there a part of you too? You gotta pay attention to her. If you don't, you'll always be in pain. I tell you that from experience. You gotta get your courage up, because, you know, you're not alone anymore.
Miss President's expression changes when she hears that. For a second, I'm worried I might have said something wrong. But then again, maybe not. Because she nods like she's determined. Looks like she's got what I meant. She's alright now. Yusei and I watch her smile. I watch while she walks towards her shadow. Wow. I really can't read today. Jeez. Yes, and the hug scene. I believe that is all.
I am Labris. The 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. That's my real name.
She says her name carefully and looks at us. Kind of like she did when I first met her. More dignified than that, maybe. It's sure she has accepted her weakness. The things she didn't want to admit.
Kanji-kun? Rise-san? Thanks. Seems like I was forgetting things that I shouldn't have been. But now, I feel so light I could float away. It's like how scared I was before was just a bad dream.
No need to thank me. The really hard part was all you. Anyway, good thing no one was hurt.
Yeah, and I can finally call you by your name. Labris is such a cute name.
Come on, don't say that. It's not really true.
I slowly let out a breath, listening to them talk about nothing. It's finally over.
Looks like Senpai and the others are all together. The invisible walls must be gone.
All right, I think we're done here for sure. So we should hurry and catch up with them.
Risa says to leave it to her and starts searching for an exit with her persona. She finds out that there's a lobby we used to use is up on the school's rooftop now. It shouldn't be in this world anymore, but then this school got created here. No surprise that the lobby is back too. Looks like we'll be meeting up with our other friends there, here in this world. From what Rise told me, they're mostly all there. Chie-senpai, Yukiko-senpai, Yosuke-senpai, Teddy. You-senpai too. I'm kind of surprised to hear that even Nato's here. She said she was too busy with work to come along. Looks like everyone's from the investigation team is here now.
Come on, let's go, Labris.
Coming!
Labris hurries up next to me. And me and her and Rise all run together towards the roof. When we get to the roof, the others are already there. Aw, we're the last ones? I feel kind of embarrassed at everyone welcoming us, but you, Senpai, is here, and I haven't seen him in a while.
Senpai, long time no see. I totally did it this time.
Yeah, Rise told me. You did an excellent job.
It's pretty cool hearing that from him. The others seem okay too, the same as usual. I was mostly on my own since coming here, so it's good to see everyone else from the investigation team.
It was really amazing. Kanji's speech to Labris was what saved her in the end.
Wow. If even Rise-chan's impressed, you must have really done a great job.
Nah. This is mostly stuff I learned from you guys.
That explains it. I knew it sounded too cool for you to come up with.
What's that supposed to mean? Come on, why'd you have to say that? While I'm sulking over that, Rise makes a quick round of introductions. For someone as complicated as Labris, Rise handles it like a pro. Guess you learn that stuff in showbiz. All my senpai seems astonished by Lapras being a robot. But they don't make a big fuss over it. They just accept her for who she is. I could tell that she was nervous about this, but I can see Lapras slowly starting to relax. I wonder if that's what I was like when I was rescued. I can't begin to explain how much my senpai being so casual with me helped me after seeing my weakness. These guys are the best, and I'm proud to be their friend. Well, the stuff with Lapras is settled now, so it's my turn to make things square. I stand up straight and face my senpai.
Hey, everyone. Well, I wanted to tell you something.
What's the matter?
Chie senpai, Yukiko senpai, Yosuke senpai, and Teddy. I bowed deep in apology towards the fallout before I caused the most trouble for.
Really sorry my shadow put you through a big hassle again.
Huh? Wait, you still haven't figured it out?
Figured out what?
Who did you defeat just now?
Who did I defeat? What? My shadow was there, so it was my shadow. Bah? Hang on, I'm confused here. Let's see. I beat the crap out of my shadow, but he got away. Then I caught up with him and found out that he didn't get away. It's actually Lapras' shadow and... Huh? Wait, what? When my brain's going on circles, I noticed something else weird. These three strange guys behind my senpai are watching us smiling like the cat that ate the canary.
To think that we were rescued by someone who had so little understanding of the situation.
Who are you? Man, it's Golden Week already. Ain't you hot, wearing fur like that?
Will you shut up for a second? We already understand what an idiot you are.
While you were gone, these people explained some things to us.
So Yu Senpai tells us the truth behind the case that they discovered. They, being Mitsuru Kirijo-san, and the white coat Akihiko Sanada-san in the red cape. And Aiga-san, who's a mech like Lapras. Seems like they're all part of the Kirijo group. Man, all three of these guys mean business. They're like all hardcore fighters who have seen a ton of combat all over the place. Seems like they've been fighting shadows for a while. They came here to find Lapras when she went missing. There's more to it than that, I guess. But it all sounds too complicated for me. Point is, they came here to take her back. But not to do anything bad to her. I wasn't too sure what they meant when they said it, but it looks like there's nothing to worry about. I can tell. There's something honest about those three that you only get from doing the right thing. That's all I need to know. I smile wide and give Lapras a tap on the shoulder, since she looks worried.
Oh, so you do have someone who is waiting for you. That's cool.
Seriously, it seems like a dream. I can't believe everyone's being so nice to me, and I don't have to be locked up.
Lapras trails off. She seems pretty touched. I was worried she was gonna start crying, but nah. She looks up again and smiles.
Kanji-kun, I can't thank you enough.
Huh? She just stopped dead. It seemed kind of weird. I mean, I know she's a machine, but I hope she's not broken or something. I get kind of worried and start to look closer at her face when her mouth opens up in this disturbing way.
It's not over yet.
What the? Did we forget something?
I can't help answering her question before I realize that voice isn't anything like her normal one. Who's saying that? It's Lapras' voice, but it sure doesn't sound like the way she talks. And to make it creepier, her expression is still frozen while her mouth is still laughing.
Is this the same communication system we use? Everyone, step away from Lapras!
Whoa!
Before I could say anything, Lapras takes a huge axe on her back and swings it down. She's way faster and stronger than before. This is the first time I really get to see the sense that she's not human. No, wait. This ain't the time to freak out.
I cannot gain access. She is being hacked. It isn't coming from inside this facility. The signal originates elsewhere.
You mean outside the TV?
This is just a little extra resistance. Now, entertain me.
She's being hacked? What did you do to her, you bastard?
Well, you appear to be the perfect opponent for her. Let's have you fight friend against friend once more.
I don't get any of this at all, but Lapras brandishes her giant axe at me, still under someone's control. Also, I think it's pretty obvious by now, especially with what she just said. Or he just said, I don't know, whoever hacked her is from the lab, I would say. I'm gonna put a stop to this.
Hey, snap out of it! You're just gonna let yourself get control like that? Show some backbone!
Whoa. Damn it, this is bad. If I don't stay focused, I can barely dodge her moves.
It's no use. She can't hear us.
What the hell is this shit?
Do I seriously have to take her down? We finally got to understanding each other, and now I gotta fight her again? I just heard about how that thing made her suffer too. The goddamn bastard controlling her.
Damn it! Quit forcing Lapras to fight! Just hang in there. I'll help you come to your senses.
All of these stories seem so similar. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and ask this. So I am going to do at least 2 more. One for this episode, and then Elizabeth's, obviously, because I think she's gonna be a special case. But since all of these are so familiar, or like similar, I want to know what you guys think. If you would just like me to move on to the second part of the story, since nothing is really changing here. But feel free to let me know in the comments down below.
My, she was quite easily defeated. Evidently, I didn't push her far enough. Well, she is a test unit, so this is as far as my little game goes.
Lapras isn't moving, but she's still talking. Hearing it makes me sick. You know, whoever it is keeps talking about Lapras like she's not even a person.
Show yourself, you freaking coward! Who the hell are you anyways?
Ah, yes. I should thank you all. Although this didn't work out, you did stay in it to the very end.
What? You can stuff your goddamn thanks. But someone starts talking calmly before I get too mad. It's Mitsuru-san.
Labras's shadow was only the mastermind of the tournament. I see now. You're the true culprit behind the whole thing.
Indeed. It was I who stole Labras away. Since I don't have a persona and can't enter a TV, I needed a puppet that could run amok for me. Labras's persona was only partially awakened, so I had a feeling her shadow would appear if she underwent a little suffering. You got the better of me this time. You deserve to know at least that much.
This time? You're planning something else then?
Who knows?
Hey, who the hell is this guy? Who does he think he is? So he's the one who threw Labras into a TV and made her shadow appear. He tried to make her kill her friends, the thing she hated most. The thing she hated most, huh? Yeah, okay, I did read that right. Now the bastard won't even show himself. He's just controlling her from outside. How big a piece of shit can this guy get?
Who do you think you are? Using her as a tool in your own crappy plans.
But she is a tool, just a machine. What concern is it of yours?
That voice sounds so annoyed when it answers me. Of course we're concerned about her. Try to answer, but the voice keeps going all disgusting, like I don't get his point.
It's no use. Nothing's getting through. What kind of sick bastard is this?
Well then, everyone, until we meet again.
The voice completely ignores us and suddenly cuts out. Labras crumbles onto the ground like a toy that ran out of batteries. Megason catches her, but she looks unconscious. I don't even know what to think now.
Damn it! I was with that asshole.
I can't help but yell out. I'm so frustrated with that goddamn voice doing whatever he wanted. We saved her. She was having a good time. So why put her through all that?
It seems whoever our adversary is, they're connected to us. You shouldn't get involved any further in this case. We'll handle things from here.
Hey, wait a second. Are you telling us to back off from this?
I understand how you feel, but we will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. Please trust us and allow us to handle this. You must hurry home.
Does she seriously think we're gonna back down just like that? I'm about to give Mitsuru-san a piece of my mind when you senpai stops me.
Guys, let's leave this to them.
Huh? Are you serious?
He's okay with that? That's not cool, man. I'm just about to say so, but I stop myself when I catch Yu Senpai's eye. I see then that he's not backing down. Yeah, he's not the type of guy to let things slide. I know better than anyone that he wouldn't let something like this go unfinished.
Oh, well, Senpai calls the shots. Just do like they ask and go home.
Kanji-kun?
No use getting pissed at them. They're not the bad guys here.
What an unexpectedly mature thing to say! Are you an imposter?
Shut up. Don't make me muss your fur again.
I'm sure Senpai has something up his sleeve. I'll just stay quiet and trust in him. That's what a man would do. Looks like Yosuke Senpai's with me too. He's probably figured out the same thing. All the others eventually calm down, and we follow Mitsuru-san and her folks out to the TV world. Out of the TV world. Okay. So if you all do want to see like all of the other story modes and such, I think I'm just gonna like release those intermediately, because again, like they're like also similar. It's just like a broken record. But yeah, I mean, there is some differences here and there. But, you know. Anyways. We exit the TV and stand in the usual Junes apartment. Mitsuru-san thanks us again, and they leave in a hurry. Are they gonna walk through the town dressed like that? Damn. Those guys have some seriously thick skin. Me, though? I know it's lame, but everything catches up to me, and I sink down on the spot. Though it seems like everyone's exhausted from going back into the TV world for the first time in a while, so the investigation team splits up. For now, I guess the case is over. Alright.
Ow! Damn it, my entire body hurts.
Even after a good night's rest, my muscles were still aching like hell. Now that I think about it, I was there for more than a whole night this time. Damn, guess I should get in better shape. But even with all the pain, I can't stay in bed. I force myself to get up and I jog where we agreed to meet. Where was it again? Wait, never mind. I got it.
Gotta be them.
That ridiculously long, shiny black limo. It's fine for Mitsuru-san's people, but it sticks out pretty bad in our little town. That's gotta be it. It's so obvious. It'd be pretty damn surprising if it belonged to anyone in Inuba. When I get there, my senpai are already standing around. Labras is there too, and she looks at me. She smiles when she sees that I'm here.
Thanks for coming. I wanted to give everyone a proper goodbye.
You really are leaving. You could just attend the real Yosogami High, you know?
That sounds great, but I can't. There's something I want to take care of now. I want to help Mitsuru-san and the others find whoever did this and catch him. No matter what, I gotta make things square.
That sure sounds like something Kanji-kun would say. Are you sure he didn't rub off on you?
Chie-senpai is joking around, and it seems like Lapras really does make things square. Does wanna. Huh. Am I really rubbing off on her? Nah, just shows that Lapras is someone who sees things through. I mean, even when she thought that she was a student council president, she had balls telling me off as soon as we met. Look at her, smiling cheerfully. Now that's what I like to see.
Labras, it's almost time.
All right. Well then, goodbye, everyone.
Oh, come on. Just when she was starting to crack. Looks like we're back at square one again. As soon as Mitsuru-san said that, her face clouded over and the moment was ruined. Even Rise, who'd finally stopped complaining, seems like she was ready to cry. Sheesh. Guess I should step in one last time. I call out Labras as she's reaching for the limousine door.
That ain't how you do things.
Huh?
I mean, think about how sappy she was being earlier. Give a proper goodbye? No with that. Rambling on ain't my thing, and I don't know if what I say is gonna get through to her. So I just put on a big smile. And say it as loud as and simple as I can.
You're supposed to say, see ya! Not some formal crap.
Lapras looks at me with wide eyes. Wait, damn it. Why is she tearing up even more? I start to panic, then Lapras laughs. Even through her tears.
See ya.
Ha! Just see, even I can do it right sometimes. Oh, that's so sweet. The limousine carrying Labras slowly speeds up, and Labras leaves with a big ol' smile. After we saw Labras off, Yosuke-senpai suggested that we all have a welcome party we've been putting off. That was our original plan after all. I kinda wanted to lay it longer since I'm still not done with you-senpai's present, but he dropped a hell of a bombshell at the party. What did he say? Well, what else? The investigation team's getting back in action. We're gonna keep following this case. It's not our style to get dragged into something and then sit back and wait for someone else to solve it. And if my buddy says he's gonna keep investigating, then I'm not letting him do it all alone. This Golden Week's far from over. We gotta have tons of fun before the holidays end. I head home after saying goodbye to my senpai. I'm all jazzed up now.
Kanji, can you come out for a moment?
Coming, Mom!
I put on the crochet hook and then go see my mom. I'm just finishing up you-senpai's present. I got some time to help out, but once I get done with this, I should make another one. Meeting Labras kind of inspired me. How about instead of making a stuffed animal, I need a stuffed robot?
I need you to tend to the store while I go do some shopping. I'm expecting a package, so make sure you sign for it when it comes.
Yeah, fine. I'll take care of it.
I head on out to the store. On the way, I happen to glance at one of the merchandise shelves. It's for the stuffed animals I knitted. I asked my mom to put them up in the shop a while ago. They seem pretty popular. I should add a few soon. Guess that means I'll have to hurry up with that stuffed robot.
What are you staring at them for? Don't worry, they're all as adorable as ever.
I wasn't staring. Sheesh. Stop making things up.
Honestly, even though I asked her to do this, I'm still uneasy about seeing the hobby I hid for so long out on display in the shop like this. It wasn't that long ago that I still was hiding it. People's reactions to it haven't been that bad. Sometimes they even sell out. No matter how much people liked them, I guess I was still kind of ashamed of my hobby. That's what I realized during this case. I talked big to Labras, but I gotta change too. I want to get where I won't freak out even if my shadow comes out or people talk about me. And even that much is gonna be a lifelong fight. So I'm taking it one step at a time. I want to be able to send these guys off with pride.
Well, I'll be going then. Try not to glare at the customers, okay?
I won't. Hurry up and leave.
I see my mom off and put the Tatsumi Textiles apron on. I'm all fired up.
Let's do this.
The case ain't over yet. I know. But I gotta do what I can. And I'll start by rearranging the mascots on the shelf to make them look as cute as possible. That is so adorable. Okay. Since there was no preference for those of you that have watched the last episode, then I'm just going to go ahead and pick for myself. And I think it's, if you've seen Persona 3, or like my playthrough anyway, you'll know who I'm going for. It wasn't a hard decision. Late November in the year 2010. The darkness fell without warning. At the same time, the previously busy examination room fell so silent that the man's ears hurt.
Hey, what happened?
He called towards the back of the room, but no answer came. After working for public safety for over a decade, he thought little could faze him anymore, that this was uncomfortably alien. It was no ordinary blackout. If it were, the faint light from machines running on battery power, such as cell phones, would remain. But the silence disturbed him even more. He hadn't heard so much as a single cry. As he looked around, he saw a spot in the darkness, something that was giving off an eerie glow, as if painted in incandescent pigments. Once his eyes began to adjust to the darkness, he was able to faintly make out the area around that light. The shining spot was revealed as a small, strangely decorated box, one that the man had only just delivered to the forensics unit.
Forensics team! What the hell is...
He called out, still squinting at the shadow of a person he could see at the window before him. But as the shape resolved, he saw that it was not a person's shadow at all.
Huh?
He had no words to describe it. At first glance, it seemed to be a coffin. Indeed, that is what it was shaped like. But he had never seen a coffin standing upright, tall as an adult, shining like a dark crystal. Yet that was clearly what the crystalline mass was, squatting in the spot where the window clerk normally stood. And upon closer examination, it wasn't the only one. At desks in front of the evidence shelf, next to the reference computer, the objects towered everywhere, as if they had taken the place of humans.
What are these?
A chill ran down the men's spine. They're people. Was that the thought that instinctively came to mind? Was this the reason he couldn't hear anyone else's voice? Was it because everyone but him was...
What's going on?
Once the fear had set in, it wasn't easy to shake off. His familiar office was starting to look like a grotesque netherworld. he felt quite sure that he had to get out. Quickly, he turned and grabbed the knob to the door, through which he had just entered. But
What the?
it did not budge. It wasn't that the door was locked, preventing the knob from turning to latch. The knob was completely frozen in place.
Is anyone here? Hey, let me out!
The man slammed his fist against the door, yelling in desperation. But the sensation he felt with his fist impacted the surface wasn't that of hitting a door. It felt like completely at odds with what he saw, as if a picture of a door had been drawn onto a solid wall. It was then that the man noticed that another light, similar in color to the emanating of the box, could be seen on another part of his hand as he swung it forward. It was a ring, and suddenly he remembered. When he brought in the small box, he found several bizarre ring-shaped objects within it. While handing it over to forensics, he suspected that there might be rings to check in the theory. He put one on, and now that ring was emanating the same eerie light as the box. Though he still had no idea what was going on, it was immediately apparent that it was directly related to the current situation. The man grabbed the ring with the sweat-slicked fingers and tucked ready to pull off his finger if necessary. But just in that moment...
I wouldn't take that off right now.
What?
The man can't help but gasp. He looked around, but he can sense no one inside the room with him. Where had the voice come from?
I'll be there to rescue you shortly. Calm yourself and wait there.
When the man calmed himself, he realized that it wasn't just a voice. The sensation was indescribable, but it was distinctly unlike hearing with one's ears.
Oh, pardon me. This is Mitsuru Kirijo. We met earlier.
Kirijo. He did know a Kirijo. It was she who brought the strange small box. And that wasn't all he knew. The Kirijos were a wicked family who used their fortune and influence as a shield, a constant frustration to the police. Despite that, the man couldn't help but feel relief wash over him. Perhaps he might survive this after all.
Oh, well, I appreciate the help. Just hurry.
After getting these muttered words out, he sank to the floor, the door at his back. Mitsuru Kirijo. If you recalled correctly, she was the eldest daughter of the Kirijo group's founding family. He noted that her voice had been far calmer than this, despite the situation they were both in. He sensed a measure of trustworthiness from her. And to think, it had been merely an hour ago that he was asking himself why such a young girl had been chosen as the head of the Kirijo group at all. Oh my goodness. The digital clock at the corner of the desk quietly announced the arrival at 10 in the morning. Normally, most of the staff would be out about now, but the entire police department was in turmoil today. It was only to be expected, with a key figure from the Kirijo group visiting on unusual business.
Kirijo, huh?
The Kirijo group was a major trading firm, synonymous with Japan. They had links to all the areas of business. Not a day could go by without the city without hearing their name. The clock that had struck 10 bore the logo of Kirijo Electronics, and KJ was the carrier for the phone provided to every member of the force. A few days ago, the same Kirijo group had made a seemingly insane proposal. The document was hundreds of pages, but a brief summary would read, "We wish to collaborate with the police and an unofficial department for eliminating monsters."
Well, it does happen from time to time. Famous businessmen end up advocating cultish nonsense in pursuit of their ambitions.
Upon consideration, it was decided that the Kirijo group should be invited to give their pitch. Of course, there was no intention of sending tax money on the outlandish proposal. The police interest in humoring the Kirijo group lay elsewhere. The Kirijo group had offered an incentive whereby if the police agreed to the meeting, they would provide a detailed list of the ergonomics research lab's artifacts, as well as actual samples. It was this that drove the officials' decision, for there had been dark rumors branded about the Kirijo group over the last 10 years. While still a family-run business, some say that the old man Kotetsu Kirijo delved into paranormal research and was performing inhumane experiments. The police collected enough evidence to test the rumor and had prepared many times to force an investigation. But every time the investigation came to nothing due to the group exerting hidden pressure, frustrating those working in the case to no end. The investigation's prime target was the infamous Ergo Research, the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Exposing the Kirijo group's dark side had been a dream of public safety's for 10 years now. And now, Kirijo seemed to be willing to hand over Ergo Research's tightly guarded secrets over a silver platter. No one knew the reason for the sudden about-face, but neither did anyone think of turning them down. They agreed to the summit, not to hear out whatever proposal Kirijo was offering, but as a stepping stone towards unearthing the past crimes. Time passed, and the agreed-upon time in the afternoon came. The man tasked with watching over and bringing in the artifacts from the Kirijo group. Though he would not speak with the guest, the police plan afforded him a major responsibility, one that gave him something like a leading role. It wasn't long before the Kirijo group car arrived in the underground port Kosher. The staff there to receive the guests only shrugged at the long black limousine that would have turned heads on the main roads. One of the youngest recruits looks towards the man and asks a question.
Chief, what's with that car?
But that was the least of the surprises in store. When the Kirijo group representative stepped out of the limousine, she was revealed to be a beautiful young woman, no older than a university student. Not only that, but she had attendants dressed in what could only be described as maid uniforms. All of them were young women, roughly her age. The scene mesmerized various dignitaries present to greet her.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am Mitsuru Kirijo, representing the Kirijo group. It's nice to meet you.
Her brisk greeting radiated poise. From there, she shook hands with the assembled dignitaries in a manner that showed that she was no stranger to social gatherings.
She's the company rep? Really?
The young recruit, who was sneaking looks out of the corner of his eye, muttered in spite of himself.
Their proposal said the rep who's coming today would be the leader of this new unit, but I thought it was supposed to be some hardcore armed response team, and she's leading it? Well, I guess it's better than some meathead.
Shut up and hold your position.
But in truth, the men felt the same way. Certainly, this monster examination unit would never be incorporated, but even if it were, he was sure to wisp out. This wisp of a girl could never do such work. Eventually, the dignitaries entered the agency along with Miss Kirijo. All of them wore lopsided smiles due to the young lady's beauty's unexpected appearance. But that would do for now. The dignitaries were only there to receive her. Their true objective was loaded in the truck parked behind the limousine. The documents and artifacts of Ergo Research.
All right, start bringing them in.
Roger, sir.
At the man's signal, his trained subordinates surrounded the Kirijo truck. They formed a line, smoothly passing boxes from man to man in the building. The articles were various size, with even a few that came in oversized metallic containers for aerial transport. The Kirijo group had warned them not to handle these things carelessly until explanations were forthcoming. But in truth, The department was already prepared to begin forensic investigation of the objects and even send them to the lab.
Are you sure it's okay for us to open these? The instructions said not to.
It won't be a real investigation if we let them hamstring our procedures. Besides, I can't think of anything they could send us that we couldn't handle. Unless there's real monsters inside these things.
The articles were brought in silence. The operation only lasted about 15 minutes. The man himself received the last item, about the size of a jewelry box, and checked the truck to make sure nothing went overlooked before closing it up. That done, he turned and walked quickly towards the forensics room. Try though he might to maintain his composure, he couldn't contain the excitement he felt. For 10 years, the darkness of the Creator Group had been a frustrating legend, like mist between the department's fingers. Their chance to investigate expose them was here at last. If even the slightest evidence matched the DNA of those who had gone missing, or the victims of the unsolved cases, victory would be theirs. The man tried to tamp down his exhilaration and took another look at the small box he held. There was no upper lid on the box. A pedestal-like protrusion at his center held a number of small circular trinkets. Their usage was completely unknown. What kind of research produced these? Just as the man was about to hand the box to the window clerk, he saw a wedding ring on the clerk's finger and came to a realization.
Huh. Are these rings?
We're not sure yet.
The man put on some protective latex gloves and tried one of the objects on. After looking at it from every angle, its color and shape seemed to be nothing but ordinary. If it was meant to be jewelry, it wasn't very attractive. The man couldn't picture scientists in the lab coats slaving away in a lab to create rings like this. The moment that unlikely possibility came to mind, the man felt somewhat embarrassed by his ignorance of fashion and accessories. But as soon as he reached for the small box to put the ring back inside, darkness suddenly fell.
Please step away from the door.
The voice echoing in the man's mind brought him back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. He took a few steps away from the door, as directed, and stood up, ready. Step away from the door. The more he thought about it, the stranger the order seemed. How did she know he was so close to the door when she wasn't even in the room? Suddenly, a chill filled the area. In mere seconds, the entire door was coated in white.
Where'd this ice come from?
It had been frosted over. The man couldn't believe his eyes. The evidence was there in front of him. He could then hear a slight knocking sound, followed by a crack forming in the center. The door buckled under its own weight and crumbled with a sound that was like building blocks being pushed over. Standing just past it was the Karijo woman. She walked over to the man with exquisite nonchalance. At her side were one of the maids she brought.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
We did give you fair warning, but it seems to have gone unheeded.
The man looked towards the ring shining on his finger.
Then this happened because we touched that box? What is this thing?
That ring gives its bearer an unstable form of pseudo-potential and allows anyone to experience the Dark Hour.
The Dark Hour?
The box itself seems to be a failed recreation of the Dark Hour. The effect radius is small, and it malfunctions when improperly handled.
The Dark Hour. He remembered that phrase coming up in documents that the Creator Group had sent. If he recalled correctly, it was defined as a hidden time, unable to be experienced by normal people. A time where everything stood still. According to the documents, it seemed to have occurred every night at midnight for about 10 years until spring 2010, as if it was forcing its way into normal time. Before now, it seemed like pure fantasy. But could this silent darkness be the very same thing?
So you're saying those stories in that document, that occult-sounding stuff was actually for real?
At that moment, a voice suddenly echoed from beyond the hallway past the broken door.
Who's there?
The man reflexively called out in alarm, realizing that the fear had not yet died down. What emerged from the darkness was the young recruit who had greeted the guests earlier and had been helping with bringing in the artifacts. He was staggering, as if severely drunk.
Chief! Hey, are you alright?
The man started to rush at his side, but the Korean woman silently stopped him. She stood between the two, as if protecting the man.
What? He's my...
Before he could finish, a surprising change overtook the recruit. The recruit fell to the ground with an agonized scream. A black tar-like substance began flowing from his every orifice.
What?
The ooze spread unnaturally across the ground and cohered into a glob. It rose up like a beast raising its head, and what looked like claws began to form. Its appearance showed clear signs that it possessed some malevolent will. The man thought again about the Creator Group's initial proposal. We wish to collaborate with the police in an unofficial department for eliminating monsters. Without a doubt, this is what they were referring to. And the name that come up again and again was...
This is a shadow.
That it is. It's a monster that dwells in every person's heart. They usually can't manifest themselves this way, but it's quite common to see it happen during the dark hour.
So the research to make this happen artificially. That's what Kirijo has been experimenting with.
That did seem to be the extent of it. At the start.
At the start. The man couldn't prevent himself from shuddering, imagining the implications of her statement. With the second roar, the half-liquefied shadow suddenly took the form of some fell beast. But where the face should have been was nothing but a mask, giving it a bizarre appearance of two creatures stitched together. The young woman, for her part, seemed not in the least perturbed.
Kikuno, my things, please.
The maid stopped to reach for something. The man wasn't sure where she had been carrying it, but she placed a sword in her master's hands. The blade was specially shaped, similar in design to a fencing saber.
Going to fight it?
Stay back. This will all be over soon.
At that moment, as if understanding their conversation, the shadow squared itself and leapt towards the young woman. Its speed matched its beastly appearance. In the darkness of the room, the man found it difficult simply keeping his eye on it. The young woman did not move. Her sword remained lowered in the face of the shadow's advance. Of course, thought the man, an amateur like her would never react in time. However...
Artemisia!
At a word from the young woman, some unseen force slammed the shadow against a wall. The man momentarily doubted his own eyes. For it hadn't been the young woman who repelled the monster, but a silhouette that suddenly appeared behind her. It looked as though it began enveloping in sublime light, contrasting the shadow's dark glow, was a woman wearing a majestic dress. The silhouette had held up a hand towards the grounded shadow. Once again, the man felt freezing air fill the room. And with that, the shadow stopped moving. Frost crystallized all over it, turning it into an ice sculpture within seconds. Only then did the woman swing the sword in her hand.
Huh.
A white gleam arced through the air. Upon impact, the froze enemy shattered like it had been crystallized sugar rather than ice. The victory was so one-sided that the man hesitated to call it a battle.
Are you all right?
The The young woman turned towards the man. The sound of her boots hitting the floor gave him the jarring realization that she hadn't moved a single step during the fray. Seeing that he was at a loss for words, she gave him a gentle smile. It was all too much for the man. He actually felt relieved to be protected by this small woman. One thing was obvious. She had been through countless battles, much like the one she had just witnessed.
Your fallen employee's life is in no danger, but he'll be very weak. Make sure he gets to a hospital. Should I make the arrangements?
No, I should at least handle that. It is a public security matter.
With a nod, the young woman approached the small box and manipulated it in a way that he couldn't catch. The eerie, yellow-green light began to fade. Moments later, the silence and darkness faded too. The world had been restored. The man felt his body become suddenly lighter, causing him to breathe a sigh of relief. He hadn't realized until the pressure was gone that the air had been suffocating, as if he had been underwater. There was a stir of movement in the room. The forensics teams and assistants looked like the man and young woman perplexed. The man took a quick look around. Fragments of the shattered door were strewn about. A young public security worker was lying unconscious nearby. And the Kirijo guest, who had entered without anyone noticing, held in her hand a drawn sword.
I'd be shocked too if I were them.
It occurred to him that if normal people couldn't sense the dark hour, the sudden change in circumstances may have seemed to them like some magic trick.
Excuse me, but this place is off limits to all unauthorized personnel. Hey, what's going on here?
The forensic staff looked at the man helplessly.
It's all right. We had a little emergency.
Oh.
That aside, halt all examination of the relics they brought in. We'll wait for further instructions from the Kirijo group.
Huh? But you said...
If there are any boxes that are closed, don't force them open. Not if you don't want to come face to face with monsters.
Leaving the frowning forensics team behind him, the man quickly went into the hallway with the Kirijo woman.
I have to thank you for your help. And about the conference, I'll join in as well. It's been arranged so nothing you say would get through to the higher-ups.
If the young woman was surprised at that amounted to a confession of betrayal, she didn't show it.
Are you saying you will reconsider your plans?
I can't overlook anything as serious as this. I wouldn't be doing my job as public security if I did. But make no mistake, the things I saw today are proof of the sins the Kirijo group has committed. They can't be punished under the law, but now that they're known, atonement will be made in some shape or form.
Indeed. I never intended anything less.
You really put one over on us this time. Oh, there's no need to be coy. What happened today was no accident, was it? We'd never have believed the reports unless we saw it in person. That's why such a dangerous box had no lid. Am I wrong?
There was no lid. That's not possible. That box was classified as risk level 3. It should have been securely fastened.
The young woman fell silent, then gasped and gave the maid walking silently beside her a look.
Kikuno.
The maid continued without the slightest sign of remorse and left her master behind. Both the man and the young woman sighed at once.
Us guys in public security have a reputation for being tough. But it seems like you guys are no slouches yourselves.
The summit that was meant to be perfunctory refusal took an unexpected turn. Promises were made to continue the talks. 6 months passed. After many opportunities to show the actual samples to the dignitaries were set up, the proposed special unit was established and mostly the form Kirijo requested. The security department, the Shadow Response Unit. It was the inauguration of the special unit that would, in time, be nicknamed the Shadow Operatives. Alright, I'm going to end it here because I've been reading for a very long time. So, yeah, everyone. With that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. And if you did, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing and leaving a comment down below for anything you'd like to talk about or just say. And I guess with that being said, everyone, I hope you all have a magnificent day, and I will see you all again sometime soon. Goodbye for now.